guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having an amazing day. In today's video we are going to be reviewing some meals from Chef Good. So Chef Good is a meal delivery service that you can order some pre-made meals straight to your house. It's very quick and efficient. The process was really easy. I was actually given these meals for free, but this video is not sponsored, so I'm giving my honest review and feedback of all the different meals that I tried. I've actually done a few different reviews of other types of meal delivery services that are available in Australia, so if you are trying to decide between the different ones, I'd recommend checking out those other videos. So I've done one on My Muscle Chef, I've done one of Garden of Vegan, and I've also done one on Marley Spoon, which is where you actually prepare the meals yourself. But this one is more similar to Garden of Vegan or the My Muscle Chef one. So they all have pre-made meals. So they've already been made. All you have to do is heat it up in the microwave. So that's what this service is. It's super easy. It comes straight to your door, very efficient. I've only had good contact with the people from there. So yeah, very quick and easy in that respect. Let's jump straight into the reviews of all the different meals. In this video today, I'm going to show you my review of 8 different meals from their vegan range. So I actually didn't even know that they had so many different meals in their vegan range, and a lot of them are really tasty. So I'll take you through that, give you all my honest feedback. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you've tried out this meal delivery service or if you've tried out any other ones. I do think it's really good for people who are super busy. I personally usually love doing my own cooking and doing my own meal prep, but this kind of a service can be really helpful to a lot of people. And if I was in a really busy, stressful work environment, I would for sure use one of these services more regularly. For me personally, like, I love cooking, and you know, part of my whole YouTube is creating recipes. So yeah, I'm not the person that would typically order these kind of things. However, I do really like trying new things and trying new experiences, and that's why I'm here reviewing it. So, you know, if something is bad, then you don't have to try it yourself, or if something is good, then you have a recommendation of which meals to try out. So let's get straight into the reviews of each of the meals. So first up, we have the Kung Pao Tofu with peanuts and Chinese broccoli. This tasted really good. However, it didn't have any rice or any noodles or anything. So after I ate it, I just felt like it didn't feel like a complete meal for me, because it didn't have that added source of carbs that I would usually have in a meal like this. So that's probably like one note that I'd give to the company, is like maybe make the meal slightly bigger. And I did find this across a lot of the meals that I tried this week. They just weren't as big of a meal as I'm used to eating, and I fully recognize that there are a lot of people out there who are a lot shorter than me, who don't need as much energy, and this meal delivery service is probably more suited to them. But for me personally, like, I'm 5'10", I do a lot of exercise, I require probably more calories than the average woman out there. So for me, I needed to add a few things to most of the meals to kind of bulk it out and make me feel satisfied after each meal. So that's something I would note, just like in a general term, for the meals that I did try. They're more of like a low calorie option, which isn't really what I am, you know, consuming at the moment, because I'm just in a stage where I just want to eat to feel satisfied and to feel fueled and to feel amazing in my body. So yeah, anyway, let's get back into the review. The other thing I wanted to note with this meal is that it contains celery, and I don't usually like cooked celery. However, it tasted really good in this meal. So that's something good about these kind of meal delivery services, is that it forces you to try new things. And I like barely ever cook with celery because I thought that I didn't like the taste of it, but actually I was forced to have it in this meal, and then I actually really enjoyed it. So it's a good way to get in a diverse range of micronutrients, which is always good for your body and for your health and for your nutrition. So on to the second meal that I tried, the beetroot croquettes with spiced sweet potato wedges. Okay, apologies, the lighting is a bit weird at the moment because it's almost sunset. But I just wanted to give you a taste test of this one because I have the time and I can. And it's pretty yummy. I will say the beetroot croquettes are a bit like hard to eat, in the sense that they're like a bit kind of stringy, but they have a nice taste. The sweet potato tastes really good as well. Good to have some carbs. This is tasty, but like, I definitely prefer the meal I had for lunch. So I'd give this like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not bad, but it's just probably not my favorite. And I feel like it has a slight kind of, what's the word, gherkin or like pickle flavor, and I'm not the biggest fan of pickles, so I think that's what's like slightly putting me off, but it's not overly powerful. Like, I had to really think what flavor it was. Like, it's not a super strong flavor, but yeah, I think it has a slight kind of like pickle flavor. Maybe that's the dressing, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's good. I'm definitely gonna eat it all. But yeah, I feel like some of the other meals might be more my kind of thing. Just to note, I actually didn't choose the meals I was having. I had the option to, but I didn't get around to choosing them before the cutoff time. So I just got like the set meals that you get, but you actually do have a choice between what meals you want. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have chosen this if I'd like seen the menu and decided which meals I wanted before. So it's kind of on my part. Like, yeah, it's just not the type of meal I would really order. But I'm still gonna eat it and it's good. So there you go. So this one was one of my least favorite ones, and for me personally it was the beetroot croquette that I didn't really like. The vegetables were delicious. Like, I would eat just like a whole bowl of that sweet potato and broccoli. Like, it was really yum. But the beetroot croquettes, I just found that they were kind of, it was more so the texture that was a bit off, because the beetroot was like shredded and in really long thin bits. So it just didn't have a very good mouthfeel for me personally, but you might be different, you might like them. Yeah, it just personally like wasn't my favorite. All right, on to meal number 3. So here we have the tempeh massaman curry. This tasted incredible, like highly recommend this one. But as you can see, I did add in some rice. So as I mentioned before, I need a bit more fuel for my body. So I added in some rice and it tasted incredible. Would highly recommend this one. I'm gonna rate this a 9.5 out of 10. All right, next up we have the deconstructed vegan moussaka. This one was my favorite by far in terms of taste. Like, this gets a 10 out of 10 for taste. It was so good, and I literally could have had like 3 portions of it. It was that good. But it was, again, quite low in calories. Like, this is really more of a snack to me in terms of the caloric density of this meal. So yeah, I ended up eating this as more of a snack and then had to have something else later to fill me up. But it tasted so good. And yeah, my only tip, again, like to Chef Good, would be to make the serving sizes bigger. Like, literally double this and then like 11 out of 10. It was so tasty. All right, on to the next meal. We have the one pot burrito bowl. So this one was by one of their guest chefs, which is Shannon Martinez. She actually owns a couple of restaurants in Melbourne. She's a very well-known vegan recipe creator and chef in Australia. So it was really cool to try one of her meals. And the one pot burrito rice, I really liked it. I think it was delicious, really tasty, but for me it was just something that I could easily make at home. Whereas when I tried different meals made by different people, I kind of like to have something that I wouldn't necessarily make myself. But that's not to give any shade to this meal. Like, it was really good. I'd rate it a solid 8 out of 10. But yeah, I just like personally didn't think it was anything revolutionary. Like, I could definitely easily make that myself at home, but at the same time, it's, you know, that's the whole point of this. You don't have to make it yourself. It's time saving. So yeah, this was a really tasty one. Would recommend ordering this if you are going to order from Chef Good. All right, next up we have the vegan Singapore noodles. This one was pretty tasty. I'm gonna rate this a 7 out of 10, just because it didn't have too much protein in there. So I did add in some edamame beans, as you saw, but I just think it would be really good if it had some tofu or tempeh or something in there to just give it a little bit more protein. And then also, I think the flavor was just slightly lacking. Like, it was a good flavor, but I think it just needed more of that sauce, more of that flavoring, yeah, to really be extra satisfying and flavorful. So I'm gonna rate this a 7 out of 10. Nothing bad to say about it, but it just was kind of lacking a bit of oomph and lacking a bit of protein. All right, we have 2 meals to go. The next one is the sweet corn congee. So this is again by Shannon Martinez. My review on this one is kind of mixed. Like, I was expecting myself not to like it that much, and I did like it, but I didn't love it. So I'd probably rate this like a 7 out of 10. Like, it wasn't bad. It had a good flavor, but it just wasn't really my cup of tea. Like, I don't know, it just didn't have, I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite meal. I would never typically order this if I did order something. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I didn't actually get the choice of what meals I would have because I forgot to reply to an email in time. So I just like got like a standard set of meals. So I probably wouldn't have ever chosen this, and that's probably indicative of like why I didn't love it as much, just because it's not something that like I would gravitate towards if I saw this on a menu. And yeah, I mean, I was glad that I tried it because it's, you know, something new that I haven't had before, but I probably wouldn't order it again. It just wasn't my favorite meal in terms of like the texture and even the taste. Like, it was good. Like, I don't have any complaints really. It just wasn't my cup of tea. So yeah, that's that one. Let's move on to the final one for today, which is the mac and cheese. So I really did enjoy this. I think it tasted really yummy and it was really easy to just whack in the microwave and have. I had a busy day of work from home that day, so I had it for lunch. It was really tasty and I liked that it had a good amount of carbs in the meal. Again, like, I think my only criticism with some of these meals, one is that they're not quite as big portions as I would like to see for myself. But again, like, if you are shorter and you don't need as many calories, like, this meal service could be really good for you in terms of what the calories are of each meal. So that'd be the first thing, like, for me personally. And the second thing would be just like the balance of the different macronutrients in some of the meals. So some of them are spot on, like they have protein, carbs and fats, really filling and sustaining and great, but a few of them like either have really low protein or like have low carb. And I think, like, for me personally, I love to see a really balanced meal. So it has a good source of protein, a good source of carbs, as well as healthy fats to help keep you full and, you know, to help to be able to digest different macronutrients and yeah, just to have sustained energy in your day. So that's kind of like what I look for in meals and in meal delivery services as well. So from that point of view, like, not to criticize them because a lot of the meals did taste really good, but yeah, I guess, you know, to sum it all up, like, I think this would be really good for someone who is a bit more petite, didn't need as many calories in their day. And yeah, just overall, like, I did enjoy the majority of the meals, but there are some where I think they could be slightly improved by just adding in a couple of things here and there. So a few little tweaks that could be made to then make these meals really incredible. So yeah, I'm really grateful that I got to taste all these meals. Thank you so much to the people from Chef Good for sending them to me. I truly do think that with a couple of tweaks, like, these meals could be incredible. And that vegan masala, just like make the serving size a bit bigger because it was so good and I literally would eat that every day. It was so yum. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this honest review. Again, I like try to be really transparent and honest in all of my reviews because I don't want to give you misleading information. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you're having an amazing day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!